last vlog, I shared the ins and outs preparing for a 20-city tour, all done independently with my husband Will and our 3 boys. It was 6 months of hard work with its joys and challenges, but now we are ready to embark to see if all of our hard work would pay off. They say starting is easy, but finishing is hard. Being that this was my first tour, we didn't have anything to compare our success or failures to, but could only hope for the best. Our first concert of the tour was Tri-Cities, Washington, and we arrived exhausted at 3 a.m. after driving all night and packing the day before.
Good morning! Day 1, concert 1. Wait, let me start that over. Today is concert number 1, day 1 of tour. We just arrived last night at 4 a.m. in the morning. This is my cute little family in our hotel room. What you doing, Riley? You're coloring?
I'm coloring a car.
Oh. And we're just getting ready to go over and set up equipment.
Tri-Cities was actually the smallest venue on our tour, but it was completely sold out. And hey, even though it was small, the fact that we sold it out and probably could have even gone bigger was a confidence booster. Out of kindness and luck, our venue owner told us that we had the day at our disposal, and so we decided to head over early to check it out and get set up. It was a good thing we were allotted so much extra time because what we had originally thought was only going to be a 2-hour setup actually ended up taking 7 hours to get set up.
I'm excited. I'm a little worried about us getting all this set up at each venue on time, but we'll make it work. Right, babe?
Sure.
This was when the panic and anxiety started to set in as we realized we had booked all of our venues on tour with this schedule in mind. Yeah. The first concert was a learning experience for all of us. First time unloading the trailer, first time setting up the merch tables, first time setting up the lighting and sound, first time, well, performing the concert in front of an audience. I won't lie, I was nervous. Even though I had spent 7 hours a day practicing for the past 6 weeks, I knew that there were still little parts of songs that weren't yet perfected, and I also was nervous because if you remember in my last vlog, the part about me not getting the MIDI trigger signal to work on my light show, well, it never ended up working. So what this meant was instead of an automated show, I was now controlling it manually, which I only had about an hour to rehearse the day before we left and was really nervous about. What's the best thing to calm your nerves before a show, though? Friends. Yes, my good friend Erin drove all the way over from Seattle to attend my first show. A seasoned performer herself, she gave me a much-needed pre-show pep talk, and then I went out there. I won't say the concert went on without its hiccups. Manually starting my tracks with the lighting and music didn't all sync 100% of the time. My violin mic apparently wasn't loud enough, and a few other things. But what I did come away with was a feeling of love, appreciation, and patience from my fans. There were some who said they had waited years for me to perform live. Others came up to me in tears after the show and told me how meaningful certain songs were to them. Nobody ever once mentioned my performance flaws or technical mishaps. It really helped me to stop and realize what this was all really about. It truly was about connecting with people and sharing the beauty of the music. After I stayed and talked with every person that I could and do photos and autographs, we loaded out and finally left around midnight. One big thing we learned is next time we will never again book back-to-back concerts in different cities. Most of the time, we were checking out at midnight so that we could get on the road again to the next town, arrive at 4 a.m., and again, set up at noon the next day. It was exhausting. And we also started panicking because we realized we still needed to contact all of the other 19 venues to see if we could get a few more hours of load-in time. I desperately tried to contact a few friends that night on social media to see if we could maybe find a few people who could come help us load in at the next concert in exchange for comp tickets and merchandise.
So, good morning. It's noon, and I just want to say something. That is not true if you have kids on tour with you. So for the past 2 nights, we've been getting to our hotels around 4 o'clock in the morning, and our kids have still, they're sleeping in later than they normally do, because normally they wake up at 6 in the morning. but they've still been waking up at like 9. So if you go to bed at 4 and wake up at 9, it's still only 5 hours of sleep. We're trying to train them to get on a rock star schedule, the rocker tour life, where you go to bed late and you wake up late. It's just a necessity to get even. I mean, I don't even know if we're gonna get 8 hours of sleep ever, but yeah. So here's my little guy, and I brought a Vitamix with me on tour, and I made myself a smoothie in the bathroom. Awesome. Yeah, trying to stay healthy. 2 of my kids are actually sick, and I'm just like praying I don't get sick.
Even though I had reserved 6 calm tickets for friends to come help set up that night, 0 of them actually ended up showing up. So no help showed up, and we now had 6 empty seats that could have gone to someone else.
Hey, so I'm back on stage waiting to go out. My second concert of the tour. This guy is not being patient with me, but there's been so many things that have already gone wrong today. My earpiece, you can't see, the right side isn't working tonight, and also the wireless transmitter box is not working. So I'm having to strap myself in. What's that law? Like Murphy's Law? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It's kind of today. Oh, and the reverb on my violin mic is not working. The FX. It's okay. It's alright. We're gonna make it work.
The piano was gorgeous. The audience was amazing. Another late night loadout, but this time we didn't have to drive. We were able to stay the night since my next concert was the day after the next. When we got back to our hotel, we found out that the pool was open until midnight, which is really kind of unusual. The kids asked if they could go swimming, and we looked at each other and said, yes!
There we go.
Preston's been lifting weights. Yeah. Show me your muscles.
This was actually one of my most cherished memories from tour. Splashing around the pool and having fun at midnight with my family. There was a moment where I looked at them as if I was watching time happen in slow motion. I was so proud of them. Everyone had been working so hard. And here we were on the road, working together, helping each other, supporting one another, and also having fun together. I will never forget that night. The next morning, we loaded up and loaded out, and we're on our way to Idaho. However, only 30 minutes down the road, I realized my wedding ring wasn't on my finger.
So we just left Spokane and got like a half an hour down the freeway, and I realized that I had left my wedding ring on my violin case, which was sitting on the trunk, and we had to turn around and come back.
I don't cry often, but this about made me break down. I could not believe I had been so careless.
Thankfully, the hotel staff found it laying in the parking lot. Oh my gosh. I'm like freaking out. But we got it.
Thankfully, the hotel staff found my wedding band laying in the parking lot, but they didn't find the engagement ring, which was worth a lot. After a prayer, I went back out to the parking lot, went straight to the spot where we were previously parked, and there it was, sparkling at me from the pavement as if to say, "You've got this. Don't give up."
That is a dog stopping in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah! For the barfy kid. How's your tummy?
They say that starting is easy, but finishing is hard. I also think that it's really just all the stuff in between that gets you.
Whatever tickles your fancy.
And it's in those moments where you're faced with questions about how strong you really are. Can you keep going? Can you finish this? Are you strong enough? With 18 more cities to go, these were questions I was asking myself. And little did I know I was about to face one of the most challenging situations of my entire tour.